Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a really fascinating research paper that tackles a huge question. How do you teach an AI to actually use the entire internet? The paper is called InSTA, and it's got a solution that is, frankly, brilliant. And no, that's not just some philosophical question. It's a real practical problem holding back AI. I mean, think about it. The internet is messy, it's always changing. You can't just manually program an AI to handle all of that. It's impossible. This paper, though, it proposes a way to automate the whole thing. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll lay out exactly why this is such a tough problem. Then we'll meet the automated solution they built, called InSTA. We'll look at how it actually teaches these AIs, check out the pretty incredible results, and then we'll talk about what it all means for you. So, to kick things off, let's get on the same page about the core issue the researchers are facing here. Why is it so darn hard to train an AI to browse the web? Well, the way we've been doing it is a massive bottleneck. It's all manual. You have to get humans to go to a website, think up a task like, find the return policy for these shoes, and then record themselves clicking through every single step. It's slow, it's super expensive, and it just doesn't scale, not even close. And just so we're clear, when we say a web agent, we're not talking about a simple chatbot. We mean an AI that can actually open a web browser, look at the page, understand what's on it, and then click, type, and scroll to get something done for you. The scale of this challenge is just mind-boggling. There are more than 300 million websites out there in just the Western internet. But the datasets we've built by hand, they cover, a few hundred? It's like trying to teach someone to be a world-class driver by only letting them practice in one tiny parking lot. It's never going to work. So, to smash through that bottleneck, the researchers came up with this amazing, totally automated system they call the InSTA pipeline. And this is where things get really cool. You can think of InSTA as a fully automated driving school for AIs. Seriously, there's an instructor AI that looks at a new road, a website, and makes up a driving challenge. Then you have the student AI who actually gets in the car and tries to do it. And finally, there's a tough examiner AI who watches the whole thing and gives the student a grade. All of this with 0 humans involved. And here you can see the whole thing laid out. This is figure 1 from the paper. The big idea is to tap into this massive pool of websites and then use this 3-stage AI process to automatically churn out tons of high-quality training examples. It's a machine built to teach other machines. Okay, so let's pop the hood on that AI driving school. We're going to look at each part, the instructor, the student, and the judge, to see how it all fits together. It all starts with the task proposer. This is our instructor AI. It looks at a website and dreams up a realistic task. But maybe its most important job is being a bouncer. It acts as a safety filter, automatically spotting and throwing out any websites that are inappropriate, harmful, or just stuck behind a login screen. And how good is that bouncer? Well, when they tested it, the AI was 97% accurate at telling safe sites from unsafe ones. That is absolutely critical if you're going to let this thing run loose on the internet. Okay, so once a safe task is ready, the student agent gets its shot. It tries to finish the task, generating all the clicks and typing. And as it's working, the powerful judge AI is watching over its shoulder, looking at every single action. Then, at the end, the judge writes a full report card, scoring the student's success from 0 to 1. But here's the big question. Can you really trust an AI to grade another AI? Well, the researchers found that this judge is actually very reliable. And what's super interesting is that its accuracy is directly tied to how confident it is. When the judge AI is really sure about its score, it's right over 93% of the time. This lets the whole system just focus on the most high-quality, reliably graded examples. All right, now for the moment of truth. Does this whole automated school actually work? Do the AI students that graduate from it actually perform better? The results are, well, they're pretty stunning. This right here, this is the mic drop moment of the paper. They took a pretty small model, only 1.7 billion parameters, and trained it on the data from InSTA. And its performance just went through the roof. Get this, It ended up outperforming a massive state-of-the-art model that was 235 times bigger. It's proof that better data can beat bigger models. Okay, but you might be thinking, did it just memorize how to solve tasks on those specific websites? Fair question. So the researchers tested it on a benchmark of websites it had never, ever seen before. The result? The agent passed with flying colors, proving it had learned a general skill for web navigation, not just a bunch of memorized steps. And the data itself is so good, it's like a superfood for other AIs. They took existing agents trained on the old human-made data and just sprinkled in some of the InSTA data. The result? Those agents' ability to handle new websites improved by over 149%. That's just wild. It shows how valuable this AI-generated data is. And one last thing. The research shows that performance just gets better with more computer power. Basically, if you give a well-trained agent more thinking time to plan its next move, its success rate goes up and up. This is great news because it means as our computers get faster, these agents will get even smarter. So let's zoom out. What's the big picture here? Why does a paper like this matter to anyone outside of a research lab? What we're looking at is a fundamental shift, a whole new way of doing things. We're going from the old way, slow, expensive, limited, and human-led, to the InSTA way, fast, cheap, scalable, and led by AI. This totally breaks the data bottleneck and opens up the entire internet as a classroom. So to wrap it all up, the conclusion here is really powerful. InSTA unlocks training at the scale of the internet. It proves that small, efficient models can compete with giants if they have the right data. It automates the whole process, which is a game changer. And all of this gets us closer, much faster, to having truly helpful personal AI assistants. And maybe best of all, they open sourced everything so other researchers can build on this. And that leaves us with a fun thought to chew on. When this technology becomes a reality, when you have an AI this capable, what's the very first thing you'd ask it to do for you? We're going to keep diving into groundbreaking papers just like this one. So if you want to stay on top of what's next, make sure you subscribe to FibeDoc. Thanks for watching.